And we are live. Don't you like how we actually managed to do that and needed some of that rehearsal?
You know, sometimes it's almost like we're related.
Sometimes.
Of
course.
Shush.
Yes, we're getting all the...
You didn't silence your ringer.
I turned the thing all the way down.
No, you have to actually silence it.
Oh, fine. Go ahead and do that.
Let me help you. There. You are now silenced.
And you'll have to undo that for me when we're done here.
Okay, sound man.
So, to our one person who is watching.
Oh, now three.
Now three. Welcome.
To this month's installment of free readings with Lord Fafnir and Spawn. This is Lord Fafnir.
And this is Spawn, in case you didn't already figure that out.
So,
and in case you haven't actually seen us before.
We are continuing a bit in the vein of last month, where we are limiting the number of readings that we do just because we do not want to be here all night because, you know, everybody's got lives. So, and we did have two people pre-book, and one of them is here now. Hello, Carol. If you're ready for your reading, we are ready for you.
We are ready for you indeed. So, basically the same rules apply as if you were here watching our live free mini readings, and that way they are mini readings. Basically, you get a chance to ask a question or not. That's up to you. You do not have to ask a question, but we will do a tarot reading for you. And essentially, depending upon what you ask, if you would specifically like to have either Spawn or I, go ahead. If you want to have both of us, say that as well. Usually, what happens is is both of us wind up saying something anyway. But if you want one person to be more of the primary. And depending upon what you ask, the primary one may be her. Like, especially if you're asking more things about, say, finances and physical health, that's definitely more up Spawn's alley. If you're asking more about personal relationships, that's more up my alley. In addition, if you're really not in the mood for tarot cards tonight, we also do past lives. Both of us do that. I do numerology.
Yes, I can do energy work and energy healing through the internet.
And I also do clairvoyance and clairaudience, and that's about it, right? At least for this. Can't really do palm readings. Always love to joke about the fact of kind of hard to do a palm reading virtually.
So yes, so after all of that spiel, Carol, I know that you are ready. What kind of reading would you like, and who would you like it from if you have made that decision yet? In response to your question, Heather, also, hi, I miss you so much. People ask, we have a limited number of 10 slots. So if it's a first come, first serve basis. If you ask for a reading before those 10 slots are filled, good for you. Yep. And you get one.
And then obviously, we basically say 10. Honestly, sometimes we've gone a little over, but then again, but the idea is that the first time we tried this, we were on for like 4 hours.
Yes, and so that was a bit long.
It was a bit long. So we said, okay, we're going to basically put a time limit on certain things. So typically these type of streams go for about 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours. But and again, we're really here more for you guys than anything else. So if readings go fast, we'll have time for more readings. If one reading takes a bit longer, and we're going to try to make sure that we really don't spend too much time on any one specific person, just so we have plenty of time for other people.
So Carol, I know that you've now narrowed it down to 2. I've never had a past life reading before or healing. Either is good. I'm just going to ask you, in this moment right now, what do you feel like you need more? Do you feel like you need that you actually need some energy work, energy healing right now, or do you need more of the past life thing? Whatever works for you.
And we'll wait for her to respond. Although I'm going to give a little intuitive glance. I'm kind of thinking that she probably needs more of the energy side.
I was getting that feeling
also
as well.
because honestly, right now for what we're doing here, a past life is going to be more just information versus the energy that's going to change a bit of things.
We already had one troll that I have just removed.
That didn't take long.
No, my goodness, we're so popular.
The thing is, you're actually starting to do good when you start to get trolls.
Energy. All right. That is my wheelhouse. So I will happily help you there.
Yes, indeed.
So first, talk to me a little bit about what kind of energy work you're looking for, because I do a couple of types. The one that works best over the internet is more for the emotional and mental health and well-being. That definitely works better than the physical healing. With the physical healing, it's much easier if I can actually be physically near you. But unfortunately, that is not the case right now. So I can absolutely do some emotional energy work with you. So what are you feeling like you need? Oh, and I can keep it on my face this time. That's nice, because we don't have to switch to the card thing. So the way that I do energy work and energy healing is largely, yep. So Carol, what I'm going to have you do, we're going to connect primarily through our hands. The hands are going to be our focal point here. So I want you to concentrate and focus on your hands. So what I want you to do right now is tell me about any sort of negative energy that you are holding on to right now that you need help removing. Like, do you have any depression, anxiety, any kind of just negative, squicky energy that you would like to not be there? Keeping an eye on the comments there. And also we have a backstage person who is keeping track of our comments as well and helping us. So if somebody named Matt talks to you, he is our sound guy.
Greetings to you, Billy Joe Rock. I believe we met her at the Cummington Fair several years ago. Nice to hear from you again.
So Carol, when you are sort of looking for the energy that you want to get rid of, what I want you to do, close your eyes and visualize it. Visualize where you're holding it in your body, because people hold their stress in different ways. For me, my stress is held in my shoulders and my jaw. That is where all of my negative energy sits. So whenever I need to detox from that, those are the first places I go. So think about parts of your bodies that are like usually very tense or very sore. Look in those parts of your body, your heart and your head. Here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop that on the screen there. Yep.
Your heart and your head. Okay. I want you to visualize, if there are colors, great. But what I want you to do is visualize whatever that energy looks like to you. And I want you to visualize pulling it into your right shoulder, down your right arm, and into your right hand, and hold it there for me. And when you are ready, when it is in your hand, I want you to visualize our hand, my left hand, meeting your right hand, and you push that energy into me. I will be here with my hand until you are ready to sever the connection. Do not worry about overloading me. I am a bottomless pit, which is why I am so good at this. I absorb energy like a sponge. So when you are done divesting yourself of the negative energy, let me know, and then we will put positive energy back into you. So let me know if any of that confused you. I will just sit here, absorbing like a sponge. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, actually, I really enjoy watching and listening to you to do this, because you definitely are at some of your most calming when you do this. And like, 'cause Lord knows, I know you when you're not calm. Humor is always good too.
All right. So first things first, I'm going to take this energy. I'm holding it. I can feel it. There's a lot there. You did very well. You did very, very well. So now I'm going to take this energy, and first I'm going to dispel it for you. I'm going to give it back to the universe, and it will no longer be bothering you. So let me take care of that first. I do this by visualizing the energy moving through me, through my body, into my chest, down my stomach, my legs, into my feet, into the floor, into the earth, and away. Give it back to the earth. Everything always goes back to the earth. All right, so now, what kind of positive energy would you like me to give back to you? There are so many different kinds of positive energy. There is contentment, there is peace, there is excitement, there is happy. What kind of positive energy can I give back to you? Just let me know. Goodness, thank you, Soundman, for keeping track of all of these.
We'll have to double your salary.
You had who else with a pre-registered?
Tracy.
I don't think Tracy's come on yet.
No, she hasn't, but that's okay.
Yeah,
She will be here.
We will progress. We are not going to wait.
Happy, peaceful feeling. All right, I can do that. So again, some instructions for you. I would like you are the one that's going to be using your left hand this time, and I will be using my right. And our roles are going to be a little bit reversed this time. I will be drawing the positive energy from me into my right hand and sending it to your left. Your left will then collect and you pull it into those spaces that we have just cleared out. So pull that energy into your head, pull that energy into your heart. And so now I start sending.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just keep an eye on the comments for me, Dad? Let me know when she has had her fill. Because I don't want to explode you with positivity.
There we go.
All right. You are absolutely welcome, Carol. So,
Alrighty.
one moment. Soundman seems to be doing something. What's up, Soundman?
I think he was just taking care of some background noise for us.
I was roughing up the
Carol, I just want to let you know very quickly. You can feel a little dizzy, a little loopy for the next hour or so, especially with the amount of energy that you just took in. So I just be careful of any head rushes or anything like that. And I will say this will hold for as long as you tend to it. You know, as if you hold in your heart that you want to keep the energy that I just gave you, then you will, if that makes sense. All right.
Very good.
Who is next on the docket?
I was going to say, so let's give you some time to kind of like debug from that one. So I'll take the lead on the next reading.
Excellent.
Yes,
Soundman, tell us.
Who's up?
So after Carol, if Tracy's not here,
Tracy's not here.
looks like Gems Louise Peverly asked for help.
Okay.
Hasn't got a response, but putting it in there.
Who has responded?
Heather Mahanes would be next.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome. You can totally take that.
All right,
because Heather is a friend.
Heather, you are up. And so what kind of a reading would you like this evening?
Ow. Punch the table.
I was going to say, it's not the smartest thing in the world to do.
Water break.
Woohoo. Yes, you're up, Heather. So, I'm sitting here waiting for you. What would you like to have this tonight? Tarot. Okay.
Tarot, please.
Did you have a specific question, issue, or topic that you would like to talk about? Because that will also figure out what deck I'm going to choose from.
Ooh.
You want to go ahead and switch it over to show the picture?
Yes, we have a lovely second camera set up tonight for the cards, so you can actually see all of the decks lovingly laid out right here. And
of course, the one here in the middle, this actually is Oracle, and I will use those as I need to, or if someone would like that. So we have our primary Dragon Tarot, because both of us will read from that. We have the original Rider-Waite deck, for those I refer to as purists who really like that deck. The Tarot of Sexual Magic, which is a deck which I typically use for relationship readings for those who like to go into an R-rated deck.
And is usually very popular on these streams.
And is usually very popular on the stream. And then this last one here, this one is the Swiss 11J deck, which I refer to sometimes as the Dark Shadows deck, because that's the deck that was actually used on the original 1960s soap opera Dark Shadows. So still waiting for Heather to let us know what type of a reading, or I should say if she had a question or an issue. If you don't really have one, just say that. And
she said tarot.
Well, yeah, no, we gave her the choice of deck.
Yes.
Okay.
The lovely choice of deck that we have.
And Gems Louise is back. So the thing is, we will take care of you right after we do Heather.
Excellent. All right. So.
Okay.
Yes, I have had a huge personal / practical issue that I'm on the verge of resolving. I've been working towards a positive resolution for a couple of years. I am wondering what the future holds on that.
Okay.
All right.
Dragon Tarot it is. All right. One more question. Give me a number between 1 and 78, because that's going to be the starting point of the deck. Deck has been freshly shuffled. Normally, we would actually have you shuffle the deck to put your energy into it, but since we're doing all this remotely, you're going to set the deck for us. Sometimes I will tell you to essentially, we'll shuffle the deck and I will ask you when we should stop. This time, it's pretty much, since it's already pre-shuffled, just give me a starting point. 9. Number 9.
Number 9. Number 9.
So, number 9 becomes the first card. So I'm going to do a 3 card to answer the question. You want to put the question back up there real quick? So we can kind of have that in comparison. And I want to make sure the camera does this so you can actually see this. And I will bring these cards closer to the camera so you can see them better. So we have the reversed Page of Coins as the first card, the Ace of Swords as the second card, and the Two of Wands as the third and final card. So, quick check for numerology. Page carries no number, but does carry an astrological sign. That being for Virgo, the month we're in right now. We have Ace, 1, new beginning for the suit of swords, which represents the air, the thought, the process, versus coins, which is earth, physical manifestation. Hence why it's an earth sign for Virgo. And then the Two of Wands. 2, duality, decision, and Wands, the suit for fire, for passion, for energy. So bring these a little close to you. Whoops.
Wait, hang on. I will. There. That makes it easier.
A little bit easier there. So now reversed image, but I'll show you what it looks like at the front. This basically, it's the dragon flying away from an exploding volcano. Reversed. Yes, you've been through hell, apparently. That's a card of fear, and I mean like real fear. Let's face it. This is Dragon Tarot. Dragons are wise. Dragons are intelligent. Dragons are strong. They're generally not afraid. That is a card of fear because that volcano was once the dragon's house, his home, his abode, his common place, his place of safety. And then it became Mount Vesuvius. Well, even a dragon can't get away from an exploding volcano. So you flee. And but in this case, because it's reversed, this is not so much a pragmatic fear. It's more of the fact of it's a bit tempered in the fact of you've actually been in the situation where you've remained far too close to the volcano for far too long. Almost as if you thought that you might be able to put it out or you actually might be able to survive it. Therefore, you hung around the danger zone rather than just immediately just going with your flat instinct and just getting the hell out of there. You stayed. But the reality is that fact is it's still a lethal, toxic situation. So As a result of that, ultimately, you're getting out of Dodge. The Ace of Swords, card number 2, new beginning. And look at that. Single sword, the dragon is wrapped around that, this being the card of thought. Now, I would say that you're resolving this primarily from your brain and your logic side. But it may be one of those things that where possibly you've tempered a little bit too much of logic and not quite enough emotion. Because if you look behind you, there's a rainbow. But you are so wrapped around that sword, you don't see it. It's a universe's signal and symbol for you of positive. So you are going in the right direction, but it's almost as if, what's the phrase? You can't see the forest through the trees, or another one is stop and smell the roses concept. The fact that you've been so focused on the resolution, you've almost as if you've forgotten actually how to get that emotional side. So, finale card, the Two of Wands.
I'm just going to move. There you go.
Oh, sorry. Gotta watch what I'm doing here with the camera here. Two of Wands. Now you see there, ultimately, this is your resolution. The decision, the duality. Now, of course, you could see there that the dragon actually has already made the choice. Choose the left or choose the right. Well, the dragon has already chosen the left. And this is one of those things that where you're not even questioning this anymore. It is resolved or will resolve. Essentially, from a 3-card reading, we're talking about pretty much past, present, future, so to speak. If you actually haven't seen this resolution yet, you are going to. It's positive because essentially it's the way that you want it to go. It's what you are looking for. It's what you deserve. If you've been working for this for several years, congratulations, your efforts have just paid off. Now, the trick behind this one is because this is about the energy and the passion. Remember I said about this one is that you kind of like lost the focus of, you were basically putting so much mental energy into it. You lost the emotional side. You weren't as well rounded. This, yeah.
I'm just waiting for what I've worked on to show up, ?
Essentially, yes. And when it actually shows up for you, it's actually going to bring back the more well-rounded aspect that you're actually you haven't been doing. Because again, this is the work, this is the mental aspect. Draw a clarifying 4th card, the 8 of Cups. This is now the emotional side. So actually, you now have a perfect balance of your elements. You have earth, air, fire, and this last one is water, the 8 of Cups. The balance will return for you. This actually is going to be having far more effect on you than you thought, which actually is pretty cool, to tell you the truth.
I think so.
So I hope that makes sense to you. Do you have any other additional questions you'd like to ask, or we wait for a second here?
I like that setup. It's quite nice.
I mean, I didn't expect we would get earth, air, fire, and that's the name of it. They came earth, air, fire, water. I'm going right in the same order.
Wonderful.
I'm going. That is just like, well, I'll put it this way. Normally, this kind of a balance doesn't show up like this. So, but definitely your earth side, especially, yeah, you've been through the mill, and so it's nice to see all that effort paying off for you.
I am so grateful to hear this.
Well, we are grateful that we can tell you that because we don't sugarcoat when we do these readings.
She knows that.
Well,
she went to college with me.
I'm just reminding her and everybody else who's watching the fact of one of the things that when you get a reading from us, no matter what it is that you'll get not what you want us to tell you, not what you want to hear. We'll tell you what you need to know.
You're welcome, Heather.
And so it may be great. It may be not so great. We tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes, we certainly do.
Okay, let us move on.
To gems, I believe.
To gems, yes.
Is that actually the correct pronunciation? I want to make sure I actually pronounce everyone's name correctly.
I believe so.
So if
she
that's...
says she's broken.
I did see that comment, and so
Alrighty.
we are happy to help however we can. So, Gems, and if that is not how your name is pronounced, please correct me. But you're up.
And so,
Gemma, hello. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you, Gemma. So, same questions apply to you. You have a specific question, topic that you'd like to talk about? Would you like to have either one of us be the front person or both of us?
Hi, Mike.
That was cool.
Right. He said he might pop in.
Well, he did.
He did. Excuse me. I have no idea what that was.
I'm not either. Sure.
So yeah, so just let us know what, because I saw that you were saying you need help, that you think you're broken. So
Yes, I
we
heard
would
that's-
definitely like to help you.
So I'm not quite sure if that means another round of energy manipulation, or if it's delving into a deeper thing with tarot cards or something else. What do we have here? I would love to know what you get from me.
All right.
Okay.
So let's both do a basic. Let's do a basic reading for her together.
Okay. Let's use your dragon cards because they have not been touched yet for the
All right.
evening,
So
other than for a pre-shuffle.
So Gemma, please tell us. Pick a number between 1 and 78 to start us off.
Oh, you're going to play that one again. That works.
It does work. It works very well. I like it. You use it. I stole it.
Mike needs a haircut. How does Matt know that?
I'm probably by looking at his profile picture.
11. Ten cards. Go to the bottom. Your deck, you draw.
Indeed.
11 is now on top.
Making sure I actually line these up under the camera before I switch to
Well,
that
if
camera.
you switch, I can always move them over while you talk.
Boop. Boop. Interesting.
Very interesting. Okay, go ahead and do the switch.
All right, let's talk.
And do you want? Yeah, you start. I will chime in.
All right, so
I will hold the cards up close to the camera as we need to.
Wanting to see what we get from you, we've gotten something pretty interesting here. We have, from left to right, we have the 8 of Coins, and then we have the High Priestess.
Number 2.
And then we have the King of Coins. So first, I'm just going to ask you to drop in the comments what your astrological sign is. I'm wondering if it might be something earthy. You never know.
Well, especially because there's one right there.
Mm-hmm.
That happens to be the King of Coins. Also doubles as Capricorn. But since we've got 2 Earth cards, no other elements, and then Major Arcana number 2, the High Priestess, right in the middle. So yeah, for a numerology perspective, you add 8 and 2, you get 10. On the other hand, it could be more of the 8 and the 2 as individual numbers.
All of these together, I am very much seeing the journey of a woman sort of discovering her strength and her power. Because over here, with the 8 of Coins, I also refer to that card as the Dancing Dragon. And I refer to it as such because if you look at... my gosh. Can you help?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's hard to do it from this weird angle. I'm trying to show that. If you can see down here, all of those are scorpions. So from far away, it looks like the dragon's just having a happy dancing time until you actually look at his feet. He's not dancing. He's being stung by scorpions. But the whole time he's going, ow, I'm fine. Ah, it's okay. Nobody worry about me. I'm going to take on way too much and, and never complain about it. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is how you used to be.
Yes, the card of being completely overwhelmed or necessarily, I remember sometimes being a bit of a martyr in the fact of, woe is me. Yes, I'll take on the weight of the world. I'll pretend I'll put on my clown face and show everyone else I'm nice and happy, but inside I'm just like, Arr! Not fun.
No. But in the present, we have the High Priestess, which is suggesting that you are leaving this mindset. I'm not saying that you have left it completely, but that you are leaving, which is good because you need to. The High Priestess, a woman coming into her own power, discovering her creativity, discovering hobbies that you may have not known about, or maybe that you did know about, but you never actually had a chance to explore, discovering parts of yourself, becoming stronger and more confident in who you are as a person, not needing the approval of others in a way that you once did.
And if you will note, I will bring the card a little closer here. Again, I really sometimes pay a lot more attention to what's going on in the picture than the actual name of the card. Because you look at, granted, the High Priestess is the most powerful female energy card in the tarot deck, bar none. And you see what's going on here is that this Dragon Queen is essentially forming a new potion. And what is she putting into there? Everything she can. As you see, she's holding a scroll, the recipe, also representing knowledge, and she's pouring into it a rainbow. And so what's essentially what's going in here is the beauty, the power, the intellect, and she's creating that vat of brew, which essentially will become then the potion to heal herself and to heal others around her as they need it. And it's very beautiful to have that kind of power to be able to do that. And because most people actually honestly really have that ability, don't know how to apply it at all.
And now, going forward, the King of Coins. You are aware of your power. You're starting to revel in it. And if you can see down below, there's this lovely dragon hoard of gold, which, you know, dragons are always known for their hoards. But the hoard is not necessarily something physical. I think that hoard represents everything that you've learned about yourself and everything, all the knowledge that you've gained that's gotten you to this point where you feel strong enough to not have to go back to things that no longer serve you, if that makes sense.
Did you see her other comment that just came up? She says she's really tired of being strong because of what's been going on. Her Nana died on her birthday. Put that one up there.
My Nana died on my birthday, March 11th. She was all I had. She took me out of care. I've been to hell and back, but I'm so sick of being strong. I absolutely get that mentality.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like, yeah, your core strength isn't there. Or I mean, it hasn't changed, right? It hasn't gone anywhere. You're still that same person. Is the fact of, yeah, you're saying is that you're tired of actually applying that strength all the time, and frankly, you need a break. So I just drew another card off your deck. The reversed Four of Cups.
Moving that up so it can be seen better.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Show you the picture here. Reversed, but that's what the main thing is. This is sometimes referred to as the mother dragon. Basically, it's a four. You have the mother dragon essentially coming and feeding the three little ones on there. It's like a mama bird feeding the little birds in the bird's nest. There are the little dragons over there going, I'm hungry, feed me, feed me. Okay. Now, you got it reversed. Also, from a numerology perspective, 4 oftentimes refers to end of a phase, basically representing things of change. You, in this 4 picture, represents that overwhelmed you. You have that strength, and you've been taking care of everybody else. Okay, it is time for you, essentially, since you pointed out you were tired of being strong, you're tired of being the strong one. Well, you're not ever going to, quote, stop being the strong one, but you are allowed to actually take a break from it from time to time because you need some time to heal yourself. And that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly natural. And frankly, it's healthy for you to do so. You should be able to take some time and not have to essentially be the one that's on top and leading and strong all the time. But that is the core of who you are, and that is not going to change. And I don't think, honestly, that you really want that to change. Your Nana's physically gone from you, but she's not left you. She is still there. She's providing you some assistance from beyond. And maybe you recognize it. Maybe you sense it. Maybe you dream of her, for example. And maybe you don't. Maybe you actually feel that the connection is completely lost. Well, it's a perception that you have. What I can tell you is the fact of that it's not lost. She's there. She's providing assistance for you, whether you realize it or not. And at times that you actually feel at your utmost tiredness, that's when she's providing you a little bit of assistance. And I think you're going to come to realize that later on if you don't right now. I mean, because the fact of, she's only been gone for about 6 months, so maybe it's still a little too close to her passing. But I think that this is going to make more sense to you as a little more time passes.
I agree with that. That is very succinct. Well put. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any other questions? I hope this helps you.
And switch back to our faces. Hello.
Yes, indeed. Yes, she has another comment there. What's it say there?
Can I ask one thing, please? Does this life get better for me? I'll always be strong for my babies. I wish I could feel my Nana so much. She was all I had.
Well, she is still there. We'll draw one more card. Bingo. 10 of Wands. Reversed. Do you want to tackle that one? I like this as kind of an answer to her question.
Yeah, you'll always be strong. You're not always going to like it, but you absolutely will always be strong. You and I have that in common.
Does this life get better for you? Well, I will put it to you this way. Especially when one of the little disclaimers that we always tell people when we do tarot readings or any reading for that matter is the fact of it's called, you have more magic than we do because you have your own free will. Ultimately, you're going to do what you're going to do. And therefore, if we basically give you kind of a projection, you could actually purposely do things to make sure that actually never happens. So will your life get better for you is going to partially be completely up to you because your choices are going to make it better or worse depending upon what you choose to do or not do. However, the card here projects that things are going to get better for you. I would say, first of all, from a Wands, a 10 transition number, you have the fire all over the place. Now, in its 4 position like this, show you a little closer here. It has that little Macaulay Culkin pose from Home Alone. Ah! I'm overwhelmed, but you got it in reversed. This essentially is telling me that the things that are coming at you are not things that you're going to be able to, you're going to go, I'm overwhelmed. No, it's going to be more the fact of you can handle this. You've got that strength, you've got that fire, and you can actually turn some of these lemons into lemonade. So while you may still be going through the hurt and the pain of having lost your Nana, things are going to be getting better for me. At least that's how these cards project it. That's how I'm viewing it. So, anything else you want to add to that? Okay. So while we take a little break here, why don't you, since we have a little list here of who actually has made our list of readings, so we can kind of let people know who are watching, who are definitely in the queue. If we stick to our 10, we may have time, we may go over 10.
So Tracy, you pre-booked. So if you are here, you are whenever you decide you are. If you're here, and then there is Ethan and Kindle, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kindle Richard Graylin. And then there is Rachel Duncan and Linda Salstrom and Melissa Lacasse. And then Chelsea will be closing things out. Okay. Oh, Tracy, you are here. Excellent. So then we will do Tracy and then we will do Ethan. So Ethan, you're up after Tracy.
Okay. Now, before we go on to Tracy, do you want to give the commercial real quick? Because we're now into this a little more than a half an hour. We know how you love to do the commercial.
I do love to do the commercial. Oh, goodness. Twist my arm. So, hello. We are Lord Fafnir and Spawn of Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers. As you can see on our screen currently is our website, www.fafnirandspawn.com.
And I know you're about to change it shortly to something else, right?
You can also find us on Facebook at Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers. You can book readings with us there. We have a fancy schmancy book now button on our Facebook page that lists every single service that we provide. You can also find us on YouTube at Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers, where we post all of these live streams so that you can watch them over and over and over, because I know that is what all of you do, because we are just that entertaining. You can also find us on Instagram at Fafnir and Spawn, where we do daily tarot draws. And yes, I am going to be switching it to the last one, which is our PayPal link, paypal.me/Fafnir and Spawn. This is a free event that we are doing right now, but any tips would be appreciated, because poor starving psychics. Wait.
Oh, Lord.
Would you be
Please,
focusing-
can I have some more?
Oh, please.
Oh, boy.
It makes it easier for us to bring these shows to you, especially since we've been able to buy fancy recording and sound equipment.
Yes, it's amazing what happens when what you're forced to do when there's a pandemic and you have to do everything virtual instead of doing things out in the field like we used to do.
So yes, if you feel like tipping us, please paypal.me/Fafnir and Spawn. All right.
Oh, and that reminds me, we are due tomorrow to release another installment of Messages in the Music, correct? This will be installment number 3.
Installment number 3 of my lord's clairaudient abilities.
Mm-hmm. So we are moving on to Tracy now. So Tracy, hello, and nice to see you again.
So yes, what kind of psychic work can we interest you in this evening, Tracy? And thank you so much for joining us again. We love repeats. We love when they come back.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Waving. Oh, wave too. Yay, we're all waving.
Wax on, wax off. So now we'll wait for the natural delay of this live stream going to Facebook and
Oh yes, well there's
and
always
YouTube and back.
Yes, there's always a bit of a delay. No
Mhm.
worries.
So yes, Tracy, if you have a question or not, if you just want a general reading or if you have a specific question.
Ignore the sound man dying in the background.
Oh, he's just having a sneezing fit.
So would you like some oracle cards, perhaps?
Ooh, okay. You know what? I have to go get my angel deck.
All right, go and get the angel deck. Maybe mix it with some of the dragons.
Possibly. Actually, it's funny. I have this deck.
Here,
Oracle.
put it in the. I will.
Sure, go for it. Switch the camera angle. Archangel Oracle cards. I've had this deck for quite some time, but frankly, it gets about the least amount of use
Until somebody specifically requests,
yeah.
like just now.
I mean, well, honestly, the time where I use this more than anything else is when I'm down in Salem, Mass. in October. That's when people come out and want to use the Oracle cards, especially the Angel Oracle cards. But yeah, at general, when we do Renaissance fairs and psychic fairs, this deck basically sits in its box. So, okay, so let me give these a quick little shuffle because they have not been.
Oh, here, yeah, do it into the camera, and then everybody can see your mad shuffling skills that everybody is already so impressed with.
Really?
Yes, people actually ask, about your shuffling skills.
Oh, well, that's because I learned how to shuffle cards at a very young age. I mean, I probably could have been a casino dealer if I had wanted to.
Well, hey, in another life.
All right, so Tracy, what kind of guidance did you have a specific question for the angels? And then while you're pondering that or typing a question or not, because I can do a general reading as well, give me a number between 1 and 40 because there are 40 cards in this deck. And then I will throw a few out and we will see what we got. $19. Okay.
19.
And I guess she had no question as well.
See, you're so fast with that. I can't
19.
do it that fast.
Let's put the first 18 on the bottom. And let's see what we have here. 1, 2, 3, for the angels. Uh-huh.
Oh, wondering who your guardian might be. Okay.
Well, wondering who your guardian might be. Well, interesting. The 3 cards that we have here actually have 3 different archangels listed. And I'll be perfectly honest, I am not totally up on all my archangels and actually what their specialties were. The first card, I don't know if you can see this here, it says spread your wings. This archangel is Ariel. Second one is Beloved One. That is Camuel. And the last one is Clairaudience. That's Zadkiel. So the message for spread your wings, and I'll just read what's on the card here. It says, do not hold back right now. Timing is perfect, and you are ready to soar. Makes sense. And of course, as these are angel cards, they're basically only showing the light. Beloved One says, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. And Clairaudience says, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So now what I'm getting from that is it is time for you to take that chance. Spread your wings. You have been holding back. There has been something that you've been wanting to do, and you, for whatever reason, had just been kind of sitting by and like waiting for things to happen. Well, unfortunately, things aren't going to happen without you actually doing something. You've got to actually start the process. So the timing is perfect for you to actually get out there and initiate what it is. Now, Beloved One says, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. So really what it seems like this is a reference to is the fact of you finding or improving upon that relationship with your spiritual soulmate in whatever form that means to you. In the Clairaudience, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. And the fact is, really, what it really kind of says, and people do this an awful lot, or I should say they don't do this an awful lot, is the fact of trust your instincts. I happen to be a clairaudient, and I've been one on all my entire life. I literally, for the longest time, I just had absolutely no idea what was in my coming in. I didn't realize I was getting all of these messages. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Trust your instincts. It doesn't have to make logical sense right away. That was one of the things as a younger person I was trying to do all the time. I was always trying to logically figure out what was going on. And sometimes logic has got absolutely nothing to do with it. Now that I know that in later years, the messages coming in now make more sense, especially if I'm doing this for other people, because I'll get messages which really are not even meant for me. They're meant for the other people. So how can I logically process a message which is not meant for me? So does that help you? Does that, if you have a clarifying question on top of that? Because again, what do we have here? I'm looking at I'm also trying to look at the comments here too, which is a different part of the screen here.
She has not commented.
Okay.
Since.
So yes, again, you have 3 different archangels listed here: Ariel, Camuel, and Zadkiel. And they're all telling you a different story, but the stories are all linked together. So if you have any other questions or comments, we will take them. If not, we will move on to who's up next. Ethan?
Well, I just want to address something that I see going on in the comments. So to Carol and to Melissa and to anybody else that is confused. Yes, every single time we do this, there are scammers who will come in and will try to poach people for other readings. So just ignore them. They are not legitimate readers. They are scammers trying to take your money.
Yes, unfortunately. the more of these we do, the more of these trolls we get. So as we said before, it's like obviously we're doing something right because the trolls are now actually paying attention to us and they're trying to do what trolls do, which is screw things up.
Yes.
And
so just ignore them. Don't reply to them. Every time I see them comment, I block them immediately. So don't worry.
I was going to say, well, last time we did this, there
were over 20 of them,
and they were all trying to sell the couch, right, or something silly like
something
that.
like that.
It was just or buy a couch. It was ridiculous. So okay, Tracy says got it.
Awesome.
So we'll move on to Ethan now.
Dun dun dun, Ethan.
All right, Ethan, you are up. What do you want and who do you want it from?
Oh, he's madly in love with you. So I think
but doesn't he want to have some variety now and then?
Who knows? I personally think it's sweet.
I think an older man with long hair and facial hair is variety.
And at least his wife isn't jealous.
I was going to say
he wants a past life reading.
Oh, a past life.
And you know what? I actually am going to let you take the lead on this one because I've already given him a past life reading.
Have you really?
I have. Him and his wife.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oh, you'll do me this time, will you? Well, then fine. I'll do it then. And so there.
Well, we can both chime in. All right, Ethan. Give Red a number between 1 and 13. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Carol's saying past life. I'm excited to watch this. So while we're waiting for Ethan to respond, I'll just kind of go a little bit of the mechanic aspect. We actually use the tarot deck
to help speed
up the process. This is not obviously a past life regression. What this is a way to connect with a single past life, and we use the tarot cards to actually help that process.
Ethan
said 7.
Excellent. Cool.
So shall I draw the 7?
Do it. Was that what you chose? Was that the number you chose last time, Ethan, or are we doing a different number? Because that's exciting.
Actually, I'm just going to do it this way.
Good. He's lost all of his card skills, everyone.
Oh, stop it. I'm not sure the camera's actually going to be able to show all 7 cards.
I don't know either.
2 rows of 7 here.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm not sure the camera's going to be able to.
Well, flip it over. Let's see what we have here. I can always. Here's the rest of your deck. So go ahead and knowing what you're about to do, I may just get out of this chair altogether and let you.
Ooh, different number. That's exciting. We might have to wind up switching.
So.
Ish. Good enough.
Actually, you know what? Hang on. I can move this a little bit out of the way. So I think we can get them almost all of them in here. Now, I am not going to pick these things up and show each one individually to the camera. That's ridiculous.
Too many.
So the concept behind this is we have the front row and the back row. In this case, kind of pretending that Ethan's sitting over here. This is closest to Ethan. And this is closest to Red. The idea of behind this is that this is him now, this row. And this row that's the past life. So what Red's going to do is kind of give a very broad spin on this top row and connect with something that's going on in Ethan's life right now. And then perform essentially the deja vu moment. And such a kind of go, the past has a message that derives that goes applicable to what's going on right now.
It has something to do with your podcast.
Okay, I'll get out of the way and let you take since. Go for it.
Sorry, I just that came to me. So that's another thing with the past life readings. To a lot of you, I am about to spout a lot of things that are not going to make any sense at all, and that's part of the reading is saying the first thing that comes to me, even if I don't understand it myself. Yes, Ethan, you get ominous whispers. All right, so first, top row, left to right. Inverse Magician, Chariot, Judgment, 5 of Wands, Page of Swords, the World, and Queen of Wands. Well, that's a lot, Ethan. That's very much a lot now, isn't it? there is a lot that you are still very, very much trying to make a space for yourself where you feel worthy to claim that space. And like I said, call me out if I am wrong. But with the Chariot, with Judgment, with the Five of Wands, the Page of Swords, the World, all of these cards are suggesting to me you finding a space that you're like, oh my gosh, I finally fit in here, only to discover later that that space was not what you thought it was, or the people in it weren't what you thought they were, or in fact, like, people wind up rejecting you. It happens to a lot of us, but this is the struggle that I'm currently seeing, especially with the Magician. You have dealt with mentors that are less than good, but you've also dealt with some really good mentors. But right now, I feel like you're being drawn into that mentality of just feeling like there's no space for you. So, will the two of you shush? Fafnir and the sound man are yakety yak yak yakking. All right. So, phase 2, the bottom row. So, like I said, to everybody else who isn't Ethan, and honestly, even to Ethan before I explain things, this is the part where I'm going to close my eyes, open the connection, and see who and or what comes through. And this is the part where I may or may not start speaking in German, singing, making random noises, asking questions of a person who is not actually in the room. It will all make sense eventually, I promise. And you can also get Dad's opinion on it if you would like. Because he does these too. All right, so first, are we all together? Poetry. Writing. Short stories. Novels. The written word. The written word is very important to you, I understand. You keep them under the bed. Okay. Ah. Interesting. I met another one, Ethan. You have a lot in there. This one is a woman. An actual human woman, as opposed to last time. He has some non-human past lives.
All right.
So this past life is coming forward because of your feelings of inadequacy and not being able to find a place for yourself, etc., etc., etc. You've experienced this before, and this is why this past life is coming through. The last time you experienced it, it was far more societal in that you were a housewife that wanted to write in a time when women writing things on their own was very seriously frowned upon. So that did not stop you from writing. Like, you did write, and you hid things in a shoebox, which totally get that, but you never published anything because you did not have any support. And the difference between your past life then and your life now is that you do have support for the things that you want to do. And honestly, in the day and time that we are in now, if you cannot find a space where you feel comfortable, honestly, her name is Mary. Yes, Ethan. I don't know if that is something I said. She didn't say Mary Shelley, but her name is definitely Mary. So perhaps look into that. But Mary Shelley did get published, so I'm not quite sure with that, but totally look into it if you would like. So, but essentially, what was I saying before? Make your own space. There, that's what I was going with. You are officially in a time, a place, and an age when you can basically go, none of these spaces work for me, so I'm just going to make my own.
Make your own fucking space.
Make your own space. Like what you're doing with your... Okay, Dad's pointing at things. Would you like to add things?
No, the thing is, I'm just looking at the front 7. I'm just kind of going, that card, all those cards is the fact of will you just make up your mind, stick to a place, rather than starting getting...
Well, no, because he doesn't feel welcome.
Yeah, he's getting angry, and then he reverses course, but wants the free space, wants the free will. Yeah, it's just, unfortunately, it comes to the point where you need to make a commitment and just follow through.
You need to make your own community is what it comes down to.
And also a little bit of like the whole thing of like, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead is that when you actually run into roadblocks, don't let that just stop you. Just make it's an obstacle that you have to go around and or over. It doesn't stop you altogether.
All right. So that is what I have for you. Ooh, he disagree with Faf.
Oh.
Ooh. There is a disagreement. So you may disagree with Faf. Do you disagree with me? Because if you do, we can totally talk about that a little bit. And also, I hope that was entertaining for everybody else who isn't Ethan. Here, shall I give you your chair back?
Sure. Boop. Alrighty.
Here, I'm going to switch back to our faces.
I was going to say, so who's up next?
Well, I'm waiting for Ethan to reply. But after Ethan, if you are still here, Kindle, Rickard Grayland. Again, if I am not pronouncing these names correctly, please, please, please tell me, because I want to pronounce people's names correctly. So, do.
It was entertaining for me too. Ha ha.
And yeah, I agree with Spawn. Well, hot damn, Spawn wins.
Didn't realize it was a competition.
I didn't either, but he disagreed with you and not me.
Hey, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that is allowed.
Mm-hmm. He is here.
What are your gender pronouns, just so we can make sure that we are not misgendering you. We don't want to misgender anybody. So.
And we appreciate the love from the Netherlands from Rose.
Yes, thank you so much. So, Kendall, what would you like, and who would you like it from?
Mm-hmm. If you have a specific question, topic, issue, and you don't have to have one, we can just do a...
I am glad I asked. They, them.
They, them.
See, this is why you're learning.
I am.
But this is why we ask.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kendall, what reading would you like? So. Do 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 do. You're taking my list. Oh no. Okay.
Deal it.
Our sound guy has an attitude.
He does.
He really does.
Who brought him in? Who hired him?
I'll just take my microphone.
Oh. Oh, right. It was me.
It was you. I was going to say, you know what they say? Don't write a check with your mouth that you can't cash with your ass.
I can't even respond to that, Dad.
I can't.
Kendall, I hope you find this all entertaining. But yes, please tell us.
If nothing else, we certainly entertain ourselves.
That's for sure. But yes, please tell us what kind of reading you would like and who you would like it from, so we can do our best to serve you.
So see, we are getting more requests for readings, and we had them on the list there.
In case
people
a slot opens up.
So yes, Isabel's putting comments. You are number 2 on the wait list, which means that we will get to you if people drop out, or if we just have extra time. Because, like I said, the readings of number of 10, that's just kind of a.
It's for us.
It's for us more than anything else.
Because
it's just so we don't want to be on for like the next 5.5 hours.
Yes, and also it's tiring a little bit to do all of them at the same time. Melissa, yes, he is the same sound guy, and
yes,
the joke is the sound guy and I are dating. So now that everyone's in on the joke, who hired him?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say I didn't bring him along.
All right. Kendall says, we'll let you two decide. I have been trying to get back on track, but spending most of the day hiding in games and online. Okay.
All righty. I know what I'm doing then.
Yep.
All right. One more question, Kendall. Just give me a number between 1 and 78. And we will go from there. What number are we up to, by the way? Kendall is number 6, correct?
Yep, Kendall is number 6.
So we appreciate all of you who are in the queue and who are patiently waiting for your turn. We will definitely get to you.
All right. And then after Kendall,
13,
Rachel Duncan, if you are still here, you are up after Kendall.
I was going to say, if you want to get people that they're getting close,
yep,
so to speak.
So it goes Kendall, Rachel Duncan, and then Linda Salstrom.
We are having a theme tonight in the Dragon Tarot. Look at this.
Oh goodness, I should switch that.
Switch it over to the other camera.
There we go. Now Kendall can see it too.
Yes, Kendall will have a very interesting thing here. We have, and I'll show bring the cards a little closer to the camera so you can see better. They did take it that they can talk right. First card is the Knight of Coins. Coins again being for Earth. The other 2 cards are both air cards. The 7 of Swords reversed and the 9 of Swords. So we have definitely an imbalance of elements. 2 air, 1 earth. Numerology, Knight has no number. 7 and 9. 7 is a resolution for issues, and 9 is approaching transformation, but there are definitely some issues going on here. So bring the card closer to you. Here's your Knight of Coins. Now, in the Dragon Tarot, I love the way the Knights are drawn. Knights typically refer to change, but they also are references to the fact of what style is the Knight. Like back when Knights actually were used, there were soldiers, weapons of war. And the cards in the 4 different suits draw them very differently. Offense, defense, etc. The Knight of Earth is the defensive knight. You see that. He's the sentry. He's in his little post. He ain't going nowhere. This is the Dragon's kind of going, you ain't getting by me. Not while I'm here, not while I'm on duty, not on my watch. Go somewhere else. Knight of Protection. Now, if you look really, really closely, you'll see what's up there. Can't really if it's
the camera is not focusing properly.
The camera's not focusing.
It's
Yeah.
close.
Anyway, at the dragon's tail is a teeny little dragon. So basically, he is protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Compare that to the 7 of Swords reversed. So I'll show what it looks like. Regular. And then the 9 of Swords reversed. Show you what that looks like. Regular as well. Now, the idea with the Swords cards is the fact of Typically, what these are all doing is that they are showing you doorways, and they are metaphors. Now, usually, I would say in the suit of swords, the way these things are drawn is that the doorway is relatively the same. The swords are forming the door frame and whatever number of swords the card depicts. But in every card, except for this one, there's a problem. The 9, you see the dragon is partially obscured in a cloud. Can't necessarily see which way is forward. Even though his head is clear, his body is not. This was the only one which actually shows the way wide open. Proceed through. But again, if you look very, very closely, and again, if I put the card too much closer to the camera, it'll start getting fuzzy again. But there actually are 9 swords in this card. There's 2 little ones down here. Essentially is representations of, to go through the door frame, sacrifice, spring cleaning, or combination thereof. So what in the heck does that have to do with you?
Well,
go ahead. You want to go say something? I was about to launch in this, but go for it.
Before you start, just a little bit,
Yeah.
because there was one bit in there that I actually connect with on a personal level, which is spending most of the day hiding in games and online.
Mm-hmm.
I have been doing something similar recently. I have definitely retreated into online spaces and game spaces.
Okay.
Because especially with the way that the world is today, it is very easy to hide in those spaces because they're nice and the bad things don't go there. So that being said, I absolutely understand the self-care impulse to hide in there, but you have to draw the line between self-care and avoidance.
This is avoidance.
Yes, you've crossed the line straight up into avoidance.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta pull that back.
I mean, but basically the 7 of Swords is saying the way is there for you, but yet you're not willing to go through. You're actually, since if it was the 9 came before the 7, I would say something different, but because the 9's coming after the 7, it's essentially is that you're actually creating a situation for you not to move forward, and it's artificial.
Starting a final year of M Divinity and End of Life Doula class. That's a lot of stress.
I can believe that, yes.
That's a ton of stress.
So is there a way for you to actually reduce some of this stress? The inverted Ace of Wands.
What are some other things that you've lost connection with that used to make you happy? It might be time for you to look and reconnect with some of those things. What do you see there?
I see the wisdom and trying to get something new out of all this. I basically see a little bit of a change of direction, to tell you the truth, is the fact of it is that something has to give. The plate is too full, and essentially with the whole idea of trying to create a way of actually not getting through is a way of saying, well, maybe there's a reason why you're avoiding, is the fact of maybe some of this really isn't meant for you. And you're realizing that, but you're not willing to logically connect the dots.
It can be hard, especially if you really want something, because I could totally believe them wanting this, but just not having the connection with it. And it can be really, really hard when stuff like that happens. You want to love something, you think you will love something, but when you finally get outside of the theory and into the practicality of it.
Indeed.
Looks at their unused spinning wheel. Yep. So if you have any other questions, please let us know. But if not, then I think, did we cover everything?
I think so, yes.
All right. So then, Rachel Duncan, if you are still here and watching us, you're up.
Rachel is up, and then who's after Rachel?
After Rachel is Linda Salstrom.
And then Melissa.
And then Melissa Lacasse.
Okay, so
and then Chelsea.
So yes. So keep you guys are getting closer, and again we thank you
Rachel
for your
is
patience.
here. Hello, Rachel. That was bad arm extension all the way out.
Okay.
There we go.
So while you do a good arm extension,
thank you,
Rachel. Same question as for everybody else. Is that who would you like to have read you, and What type of reading would you like? Do you have a specific question, topic, issue? Trying to save some time here. So if you would like to have tarot, pick a number between 178 while you're at it. Let's see. Let's get all the answers in one big thing from her, rather than having to go back and forth.
Do that real quick. Woo, she is on it. There's so much going on in my life right now. I'm not sure even how to put it into a question, but whoever wants to do the reading is great for me. So this is probably going to be another combo.
I believe so, yes.
Whatever they don't choose, it's always a
14.
combo.
Okay, so we did my deck last time. We're going to do yours this time.
Yes, that's why I was making you shuffle it
Exactly.
just then.
Oh, I also got a twinkle. We're going to add a Dark Shadows card to this one.
Okie doke.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. To the bottom. 14. 3 dragon. And then I just want you to... Actually, no, we're going to let Rachel do it. Again, Rachel, one more time, a number between 178. Don't touch that. Don't shuffle those cards. Just let them
I'm not. I'm just
let them sit there.
Getting them ready.
That I think is... That I believe what that is that card, that fourth card's going to clarify these 3 dragon cards.
I am into it. It's going to be one of the blank ones, isn't it? Actually, between 1 and 80 for this deck.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's right. Rachel, a number between 1 and 9. Okay.
Boop.
All righty. 5, 6, 7, 8, and
Heather,
9.
tell Avery that I say hi and that I love her and I miss her.
Well, I'll be darned.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't actually pronounce that. I don't speak French. I'm so sorry.
You don't speak Francais.
The
French deck here.
I will do the flip.
Do you do the flip? So we got 3 dragon cards, and then 1 from the Swiss 1/1J deck. So we have the inverted Queen of Cups. We have the inverted Chariot. We have the Fool, and we have the Queen of Wands in this deck.
Which I wish
in
I could.
French.
I wish I could say that properly in French, but alas, and alack.
Alas and alack. And so we
Lack of
actually,
French knowledge.
and another thing is, of these 4 cards, we have 3 astrological signs we're pointing towards.
Mhm.
We've got Queen of Cups, which happens to also double as Scorpio. We have the Chariot, which doubles as Cancer, and the Queen of Wands, which is Leo.
Hi, it's me.
So 2 waters and a fire. And then the Fool all around that. And then for numbers, pair of queens, a 7 and a 0. Most interesting. So do any of those, Rachel, do any of those astrological signs have any relevance to you? Scorpio, Cancer, and Leo. And they don't have to, by the way.
I mean, it's a very intriguing spread just from that by itself.
Waiting for the delay factor to go through the motions here.
Oh yeah. Technology is not perfect. Scorpio and Cancer, if you might mean it literally.
That'd be the first 2 cards here. The Queen of Cups is the Scorpio. I mean, what I'm getting from that, yeah, Cancer literally. Thank you for the clarification there. The Queen of Cups. Whoops, get the camera thing here. That's the inverted one. So I'll show you what it looks like normally. The Queen not wearing her crown. The Queen basically deciding that it's more important to survive than it actually is to actually be the powerful queen that she really is. That's essentially is leaving the cup and the crown in the sky because this dragon's thirsty. So she's going down back to the ground to be with everybody else because that's where the water is and she wants to survive. And so she basically drinks her fill there. It's either the fact of this is kind of a big fat reality check. So you said Scorpio literally. is the fact of, is there like a bad scorpion, so to speak, a bad thing going on?
I think it was just the Cancer.
The Cancer was a little, when they said thing is the Scorpio, the sign that was, so this is essentially a reality check in the reversed, because that's how I see it in the reversed phase.
I'm assuming that when she says Cancer, literally, that someone in her life literally has cancer. Is where I'm going with that.
Right. Because the Chariot card reversed again, but I'll show you what it looks like normally. This happens to be also a representation of the search. And number 7 is actually the resolution of an issue, believe it or not. So if you were referring to the concept of cancer as literal cancer,
yes,
then now, right, thank you. And then so now we're talking with the fact of, okay, you have the good symbol, but it's just like it's not necessarily come to fruition yet. In that it's a number of resolution, the search is on, the answer is there. It hasn't been found, or it's coming in a direction that you just don't expect. And again, that kind of goes along with the inverted Queen of Cups as well, and the fact of it's like things are not what they seem to be. And it's really a pain in the ass. It's hard to actually really see your way through this, because like you kind of go, well, things should be this way. Logically, this should go this way. And they're not. And it's just maddening. That's kind of the darker side. These two cards, however, provide something which is a little different in the fact of, again, referring to your husband now with his cancer. Is he going through traditional medicine stuff, or something a little different, or some kind of modification or whatever? And by the way, I don't necessarily need you to physically answer that question or not, because what I'm getting here, here's the Fool. Now, believe it or not, the Fool is actually one of the best cards to get in the tarot deck, which a lot of people kind of go, huh? They don't get the context behind the Fool, which makes perfect sense, because the face value of the Fool is that it's someone who it appears to be rather foolish. And so from the general populace perspective, they look at the Fool as kind of a negative thing. Okay. Now you have to look at it from the other perspective, both from the Fool reality and the Fool numerology. And they're very similar stories, by the way. But think back to when Fools actually were used for real back in Renaissance, medieval times, etc., etc. The Fool, the job of the Fool was to entertain the king. So while the perception of that this person was a half-wit or an idiot, this person was multi-talented and multifaceted. He could sing, dance, tell jokes, wear those silly costumes, play the Fool. And I mean play, an actor.
And yeah, the biggest part of the Fool's job is being able to make political commentary about how terrible the king is to the king's face without the king chopping his head off.
Exactly.
And you have to be really smart to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so the point behind the Fool is that to the great mass, the Fool was a negative, but the Fool actually in reality was usually one of the smartest and most influential people in the king's court behind the scenes. But as it was always behind the scenes, couldn't be out in front, or otherwise that would be different. And the idea that the card is given number 0 for a very good reason. In numerology, the numerology universe, you take all whole numbers, reduce them to 1 digit, you get a circle of 1 through 9. But 0 isn't part of 1 through 9 because it's its own separate circle. It's the ultimate card in free will. So again, relating that back to the Cancer concept, it's that, okay, if solutions are not logically there, the things that you should do according with traditional stuff, and it's just nothing seems to be going right, it's because the answer is not going to be coming from that direction. It's going to come from an alternative direction. Whether that means alternative medicine or alternative treatment or an alternative doctor, something that you're not logically foreseeing is actually what the result is going to be. And then that leads into this one, the Dark Shadows card, as I refer to it, as the Queen of Wands. You want to? It's your deck. You want to take the Queen of Wands?
I honestly see that sort of as a reminder of who she is.
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, she is still the Queen of Wands.
Right.
Wands, passion, fire, energy, desire. You still, just because you feel disconnected from it doesn't mean you've lost any of who you were or the power that you hold. You're still an incredibly powerful force to be reckoned with. You just need to get in touch with that again.
Mm-hmm. So the path is not an easy one. It's kind of a weird one, to tell you the truth, to be perfectly honest. It's a strange, I mean, as the Grateful Dead would sing, what a long, strange trip it's been. Or in this case, kind of will be, because you're still kind of in the middle of it. But this is actually showing an avenue out and a resolution for you. It's just that right now you can't see it because you're looking in the wrong direction. So the perspective has to be changed. And when it is, then things will become clearer. What do we got here?
I'm gonna switch.
Oh, okay, got it. Wasn't sure if we had another comment or
Nope.
or what you were doing. So
just gonna switch back to our faces.
So this means now look at the camera again rather than
the table.
The table,
Yes.
exactly. So, okay, I can do that.
Yes.
So I hope that helps, Rachel. Or if you have any other clarifying last minute questions before we move on to the next one.
Oh. Tears. I'm speechless.
Well,
Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome. That this is what we do. And this is why we do this.
And
too.
this is also why at events we always bring tissues with us.
Yes.
I'm sorry that we cannot offer you tissues, but I do hope you have
virtual tissues we can offer.
virtual tissues. Yes.
So let's put your dragon cards away. Okay. Who's up? Linda's up next, correct?
Yes. Linda Salstrom. Front and center.
Linda, it is your turn.
It is your turn.
And thank you for being patient. We have Linda, and then we have Melissa, and then we have Chelsea, and then we have our wait list based upon what time we have left.
Based upon what time it is, yes. While we are waiting for Linda, shall we do another round of the commercial again?
Go for it. Do another commercial.
All right. So, hello. We are Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers. This is Lord Fafnir. I am Spawn. On your screen right now is our website, www.fafnirandspawn.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers, where we have a fancy schmancy Book Now button on our page, which has all of the services that we have listed, and you can book on our page and on our website. We are also on YouTube at Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers, where we post all of the live streams that we do so that you can watch them over and over and over, because I know that we are just that entertaining. We are also on Instagram at Fafnir and Spawn, where we do daily tarot drawings every day. Every day we do them. And also our PayPal link, which is on your screen now, paypal.me/Fafnir and Spawn. This is a free event, but any and all tips are appreciated. As, you know, with the pandemic, I'm still out of work. Starving psychics. So sad. So that is the commercial for us. Anybody that doesn't receive a reading tonight, you can absolutely book a reading with us privately. We are also, we do a paid live stream every month, which is like group readings. So you pay $20 to get into that. Also, this October, the Lord and I will be part of Halloween psychic fairs for the entire month of October. So if you are interested in booking us through an actual psychic fair, you can do that as well. And we will have more information about those events that we will be doing, which are all virtual, by the way. We will have more information about those on our page and on our website. So
as soon
be
as
on the lookout.
As soon as we get more information, because I know they're still putting those things together themselves, and we will keep you informed as soon as we are. So I do believe Linda is here.
Linda is here. Hello, Linda.
Hello. Okay, Linda. So what type of reading would you like? Who would you like it from? And if it's tarot, pick a number.
Yep, that about covers it.
So again, you if you have a question, topic, great. You do not have to have one. We can give you a general reading. You know what I'm actually surprised at so far? No one has asked for a relationship reading. Normally, I do a whole bunch.
Normally, you pull out the sex deck, and there's just
There's at least one on the wait list that wanted to know about their boyfriend and when he was leaving.
well, if we do have time to get to the wait list,
Oh, that one's almost worth getting to on the wait list just to answer that question.
Maybe.
I think it was second on the wait list.
We will see. I mean, we're at an hour. We are officially at an hour and a half, and this
Okay.
So we will see what happens.
Well, I think we're still moving at relatively good speed. So
Yes. So for the next people that are there's Linda, who is now, and then Melissa Lacasse. If you are still here, you are up after Linda,
Yep.
and then Chelsea. It's all you.
Okay,
So,
tarot. Hey, funny. I said
Hey,
that.
tarot
Hey, she wants a
relationship
tarot
reading.
relationship reading. Okay.
that one's all you, my lord.
All righty. So, Linda, I have my famous Tarot of Sexual Magic, my R-rated deck. So, if you would like to give me a number, I will for the first card in this deck between 1 and 78, and if you had a specific question that you want to ask about this, or more just kind of a general aura on that, like where things are going or what's going on, et cetera, just throw it out there and we will go.
And also, thank you for all of the lovely compliments tonight, everyone. We've been getting told that we're beautiful and peaceful, and so thank you so much for all those lovely comments tonight.
For you are beautiful, and I love you dearly, more dearly than the spoken word can tell.
My father, everyone.
Well, you're a singer too, like me, so.
Yeah, but you actually pulled out something that I didn't know.
Oh, you never heard that song before?
I have not.
Oh. Was that the singer with the British accent too? Because it was a British singer who actually originally did that one.
17. When will my
husband move out? Okay.
That's the
Oh,
one.
this is the one. This is the one right
okay.
now. Because your previous comment mentioned divorce, right? Is that right?
I missed the original comment that Linda
You
had.
either did tell your husband or you want to tell your husband that you want a divorce. So I don't remember quite. So
Yes,
if you could just retell us,
if you want to,
fantastic.
if you would like to reiterate that, unfortunately, we've gotten so many comments, we can't go back and actually see all the original old comments. So,
yeah, yes, you did tell him already, or yes, you're going to tell him. I think she did tell him already.
okay,
Okay.
turn the camera over, and I've got 3 cards here, and all I got to say is, wow. When will your husband move out? Is the question that has been asked. Oh, I will be telling him soon.
Oh, you will be telling him soon. Okay.
Well, I put it this way. The sooner, the better. Should I say like Leonard Nimoy did? Said it in
I'll go for it. Yes.
the sooner, the better. From another movie, not Star Trek, by the way. We have here the 3 cards. Number 2, the High Priestess again. That's been coming around a few times tonight. We have the 6 of Pentacles. Pentacles being for Earth in this case, as opposed to coins. That's the Earth suit for the Dragon Tarot. And the 7 of Chalices. Chalices for water. So we have Earth and water. We have physical manifestation, and we have emotion. Numbers, we have 2, 6, and 7. So, High Priestess. If you were listening to the other reading where the other High Priestess card came in, I'll reiterate this. The fact is the High Priestess is the most powerful female card in the tarot deck, and represents the female energy. It doesn't necessarily have to represent an actual female persona, but in this case, it's you. So this High Priestess, as you can see in the picture here, it's all about you. You've got everything that you like in front of you. You've got a cat at your feet that you're playing with. You have a book on your lap. You have scissors in here. You are working to basically get rid of the toxic aspects of your life. You are finding the best way of ridding things the easiest way you can using the powers that you have. And honestly, it's the best thing for you because you will only truly come into your own when you've actually gotten rid of the negative aspects. And that's the whole point of the 6 of Pentacles. Now, this card is very, very intriguing because it's kind of it's a diametric opposite. First of all, the number is 6. That's the number of confusion, saying that things are still kind of in a very uplifting or bizarre situation. and they don't necessarily go together, which actually kind of goes along. I mean, confusion is just that. Pentacles being the suit of earth, but now you look at the picture. The woman in this picture, again, is a metaphor for yourself and the fact of, okay, this is she's topless in here, but what is she doing? She's playing with a bowl of apples, and she's taking one of the apples, she's taking a bite out of it, and she's actually looked like she's almost going to like put it into her bustier there. Essentially, this is the woman finally finding herself. You notice that there's a man in the picture, but he's in the background. He's at the doors kind of like watching. He's on the outside looking in, because right now this woman is all about finding herself. You know, this is the cleansing of being alone and realizing exactly who you are, what you want, and what you don't want. And if you want to be in a relationship, because after all, this is a relationship tarot, that is fantastic, but you don't have to be. You do not need a man, you know, you don't need to be a man or have a man, you know, to actually, you know, fulfill your own needs and your own desires and your own wants, et cetera, et cetera. You can actually be fine by yourself. So the sooner that you can actually tell your husband that you don't want him around anymore, so to speak, you know, that you can basically have this isolation, this time to yourself to actually kind of go, yeah, this is exactly who I am, and exactly know who you are and what you want. Because then for your future card, when you're ready, and that's totally up to you, by the way, the Seven of Chalices. Seven's the resolution for the problems. And as you see in the picture here, this is a picture of a man and a woman having a very nice embrace outdoors. And yes, they're mostly naked, and it looks like they're getting very close to having intercourse. But if you look at the picture in this card, at least in the way that they are drawing this deck, because there are some very, very physical cards in this deck. Some cards are very, very much physical sex. This one is much more so about that emotion and that emotional connection that goes along with the physical sex. So this is both the satisfaction from the body, the mind, and the spirit, something that you clearly were not getting in your relationship before. This is what ultimately you want, and this is something that ultimately you can achieve once you've actually been able to clear the old and establish your baseline of who you are as yourself, not needing the partner, wanting the partner. Big difference, as in no codependency here.
That's the word.
In other words, so the fact of is that this is not a codependent relationship. This is the mutually beneficial relationship.
You're on equal footing.
Exactly. So unfortunately, it means the work has to get done first. You have to basically take care of getting rid of the one that you would like to get rid of. I'm going to draw a fourth card here, just to Judgment.
Put it up a little bit. There you go.
So the Judgment card. And in this case, you know, it's not necessarily representing a new binding of you to somebody else. Although in the future, if that's what you really would like to have, that's clearly your choice. But that's called free will. But the whole point of the Judgment right now is, all right, the Judgment for currently is the severing of the bond that you have with your current husband, because it's time. And of course, you already know that. So right now, that part of it, we're not telling you anything you don't already know. I think the original question, though, was when will he move out? Mm-hmm. And the answer to that question is essentially going to be when you tell him, because basically it's going to be, okay, I would like you to leave. So he's obviously not going to leave until you tell him to do so. And obviously you can definitely put your own limits on that, but kind of go, well, if you could say, well, I'm not going to leave. And you'll say, well, then essentially, well, if you don't leave, I will. The idea of the fact of you two, you know, need to be apart. That's what these cards are saying. And of course, that's what you said to yourself in the first place. So, but honestly, I don't think he's really going to be ultimately surprised. And well, I'm not going to say he's not going to be upset about it. I don't really think that there's going to be too much of an issue of making the severing when you actually decide to tell him once and for all. Because if he's actually smart, he's already kind of smelled some of the rat anyway.
That's very true.
So that's what we have for you, Linda. Do you have any other comments,
Here,
questions
let
on
me
this?
switch to your face.
Yeah, switch over to my face. I'll leave these cards up for a few more minutes just to make sure that she has anything else that she would like to comment on.
And then our last two people in the queue before we go to the wait list. That was the word. My God.
We have Melissa and then we have Chelsea.
Yep, we have Melissa and then we have Chelsea. So get ready, Melissa. I know that you've been waiting very patiently.
Yes, indeed. Linda, anything else? If not, we will be moving on to Melissa. We'll give you a few more seconds, especially with the delay here on this, to make sure that
I'll just sing the Mario theme again. Do 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 do. Okay.
And you made a comment to me when I launched into a song earlier.
Well, no, it's just one I didn't know, so I couldn't join in.
Oh, well, we could do the Jeopardy go. Do 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 do. Ah, we got something.
When will I be with my next relationship?
Because I did show the card with her actually in the next relationship.
That is true. All right.
All right. So we will draw a quick clarifier, and that's basically from the time point of when. Well, I'll be darned. We got an astrological card, the King of Chalices, and there we have so from a time frame, that is Cancer. So that would be if we're looking at from that time perspective, we are talking next year, and the month of Cancer is end of late May into June. No, I wait. That's Gemini. Excuse me. I did that backwards.
June 22nd.
Yes, June 22nd. So it's
Thanks,
end,
sound guy.
yes, end of June into July. Yes, right before Leo. That's when Cancer is.
Yes.
I got Gemini and Cancer mixed up. So next summer, which honestly, if you're thinking to yourself right now, that's an awful long time.
No, it isn't.
No, actually, it isn't at all. Especially if you really want to have that clarification and purification of yourself, which is what the Six of Pentacles is showing here. That definitely gives you that time to really kind of purge the old and really kind of get that whole mindset of who you are as yourself, which is actually that's where you want to be to get into that next healthy relationship. So that's what we got.
FaceTime.
Okay, let us move on to
All right.
Melissa.
Hello, Melissa. What kind of reading would you like? If it's tarot, what deck / pick a number? Did you redo these? Are they good? I forget.
Oh, no, I did not. Let me redo them real quick.
Okie doke. He shuffles for me because I'm bad at it.
You bad at shuffling.
Well, it has something to do with, the cerebral palsy and the one working. It only has a little bit to do with that.
You're very welcome, Linda. Okay, so that's that one. Let me shuffle the Swiss deck.
You would also like a love
okay.
one.
A love one.
Excellent. We'll do some love. 52.
52. Now, Melissa, did you have a specific question to go with your request for the love deck? The love deck. Oh, never mind.
Well, so now you know what I'm thinking?
What's that?
Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
That's funny. You went to that one. You know what I went to? Love Shack is a little place where
Of course.
we can get together.
I went straight to the Jake Isles.
Oh, you went to the Jake Giles song.
Love stinks.
Love sticks. Love sticks. Yeah, yeah. Love
Reflection on you
sticks.
here.
I'm married. Oh, that's right. I remember because we spoke to you before about this.
Yeah, you want sparks in the marriage. I get that. Everyone wants sparks.
Fireworks.
I'm amazed at how fast you can do this. I really am.
Okay. Something tells me I know what I'm going to get, but
Thank you for joining us, Misty. We miss you. Stay safe.
whoa, Nelly.
Ooh, here's, will it be my husband or do I need to use our open door policy?
Yep.
You know, people really like the sound man, which is good because, you know, I really like him too.
Fancy, yes, but you like him too. Okay,
So, will it-
Melissa.
Will it be my husband, or do I need to use our open door policy?
Okay, let me be perfectly blunt with you.
What's the last part of that statement?
No, I didn't. I did not
What,
miss
did-
that
did-
she was with
did I-
Sound Guy again. Everybody loves Sound Guy.
I was gonna say-
Sound Guy.
Sound guy's having an issue over there.
No, I'm having a great time over here. There's a difference.
Okay, we have the 10 of Wands, we have the 4 of Swords, and we have the reversed Hanged Man. So, open door policy is at least going to be a perspective that you're going to have to embrace, assuming that you actually want to embrace this, because after all, free will and all that. You're only going to do what you actually want to do. But you want sparks. The 10 of Wands, nice physical card here, are definitely that. The fact of the sex in the woods where you're literally ripping off his underwear and jumping on him and straddling him and, and going at it.
Baby.
And the combination of it's the passion and it's like it's the, you know, it's the physical aspect. This is the, you know, I'm gonna try to have this be the way I would say this in PG way, because after we are recording this. But if you honestly can get these kinds of sparks from your husband, then have at, by all means.
But
you're not.
Like she's...
But it sounds like you're not, and unfortunately, it doesn't sound like you're going to be able either. Therefore, that it looks to be like, you know, if you want to have some of that actual passion, you're going to have to do that little bit of open door policy that you had talked about, and grab some of that pet passion from the outside. I mean, it doesn't sound like actually you're really a fan of that, and there's nothing wrong with that either way. But you asked the question, and so I'm kind of giving you the best answer I can based on these cards. The 4 of Swords cards, again, another very, very physical card. In this case, this is more like oral sex than anything else. But again, the idea of it's having that what?
I've done that before. Lol.
Oh, the open door policy. Well, you know, the the ripping his underwear off and having sex outdoors.
I'm a submissive person.
Okay. Well, for those who really know, the whole sub-dom thing is the sub's really the one in control anyway. But again, you got both of those cards there representing more of that actual outdoor lust, passion, spark, etc. And it's funny, you actually mentioned yourself as a submissive person, and here we have the Hanged Man reversed. I'll show it to you in the front here, in the fact of, yeah, there's your submissive female, but she's actually the one in control there, because, you know, she's just waiting for the man to come to her.
Well, I mean, the submissive ones usually are the ones in control.
Well, that's the whole point behind it. It's one of those things that for people who are not familiar with the whole sub-dom culture, they think that the dominant controls everything.
But no.
And no, it's the exact opposite. It's a game, but the sub is really the one that's really in control and is relinquishing the power.
Yeah, the dom
purpose.
the dom earns the power, and the sub can take it back at any point in time. The second that the sub says stop.
Exactly. For a healthy sub-dom relationship,
yes.
anyway.
Well, there is only, like, the rest of that is just abuse. If it's not that, then it's just abuse. So, but.
Oh, thank you for the clarification. She says it's the ripped clothes outdoors.
Yes.
So, okay, so that's a card really is a representation of a past thing. Well, that's great. I would say, you know, I'm going to draw one more card here real quick here. Get on to that. Yeah, we're getting the same concept here. We have the King of Swords now.
Let me just ask, just for my own brain, Melissa, you have an open door policy in your marriage. So I'm assuming that because of that, the communication in your marriage is a bit more open. So have you actually sort of discussed the lack of sparkiness with your husband, or is this sort of something that you've been contemplating on your own?
And I would say All right, hang on a second.
Yes. Yeah. So in terms, but I'm just wondering, did you talk to him about the problem inside the marriage first, or are you just sort of thinking about it and haven't sort of communicated with him yet? Is my question.
That's your question, because also then from an open door perspective, is the husband also part of the open door from his perspective, or is it just Melissa? Is it just you who's doing the open door side of things?
And don't think that we are judging you. We are
no.
Absolutely not.
There's absolutely no judgment here at all.
But your
and by the way, if this is getting too personal, you don't have to answer these questions either.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where if you haven't given your husband an opportunity to correct the issue, like if he doesn't know it's an issue, you should probably actually discuss that with him before looking at alternatives.
And the reason why, by the way, why I'm asking the question is that, let me give you a little picture, the concept behind this card here, the King of Swords, which also, by the way, doubles as Libra. That's my sign, by the way. But the card here shows the king. And the king is about to be serviced by this nice young lady there. The queen is on the outside of the window looking in. So while in this case, she's very much aware of what's going on. So in this case, actually, Melissa, again, referring to energy here, you are, in this case, you're the king. You're the one who's right now going through the open door policy, and the person at your feet there is the one that you're going to be having fun with. Your husband, in this case, is the queen on the outside looking in. Full knowledge, and that's from communication point of view, that's great. But the idea behind this also is that there's also that queen is not ultimately happy this is going on. So
okay, so if you have communicated with him and it's not something that you think you can solve inside of that, then yeah, you may need to exercise that policy that you guys have established. If that makes sense.
Oh, I'm just looking at the comment there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you need to find somebody outside of that, because it's also one of those things where it's like I am open as well, because I fully believe and understand the concept that one person cannot be the be all end all for another human. That's just too much to ask. So I don't see anything wrong with having your husband meet some of your needs, but not all of them, and having somebody else meet the rest of them.
I mean, it really, it's kind of society's overall rules that essentially assumes that says, the good way of doing things is we're all supposed to be monogamous, right? In relationships. Well, the reality is that the human race is not monogamous by design. It just, and of course, again, many people, spend their entire lives in monogamous relationships, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But also there shouldn't be a taboo against people who are in polyamorous relationships or other types of relationships, because and of course we're in this society where nowadays people are now finally becoming more accepting to things outside the traditional societal norm, which is a good thing.
So just my 2 cents is, yeah, if you feel that you need to exercise that policy to meet some needs that are currently not being met, and if everybody is a happy and consenting adult, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because after all, if you try to maintain a monogamous relationship with your husband, who only was meeting so much of your needs, but a certain part of it was not being met, ultimately that part that's not going to be met is just going to fester and grow
and turn into resentment.
Now, ultimately, if you can get that resolved with your partner, your husband, to meet that need, that's fantastic. But it sounds like from what you're saying is that you've been down this road, and this just is not something that he's able to do for whatever reason.
And that's no fault of his.
No, that's right. That's not actually saying anything really derogatory and negative against him at all.
Mm-hmm. So unless you have any further comments or questions, I think that is what we have for you.
Okay, so
back to our faces.
Indeed. So yes, if you have any last minute or clarifying issues on this, and so
and if you do not, Chels, it's your turn.
Did you say bye, Brad?
Oh, I didn't even. I just blocked him immediately. It's so cute. He can't even read that it's a free event.
And she says it's just not his thing.
Yeah, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, obviously, you married him for other reasons, and those reasons why you're still together.
Hi, Chelsea.
Okay. Let us move on to Chelsea.
Oh, right.
And then after that, I think I still got some in me, so we can still tackle a few on the wait list, I think, as well.
I am starting to lose a bit of steam, so maybe.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to do them, I will help, but you can be.
Okay, I can be the point person for a couple more.
So
let's take care of Chelsea first.
Chelsea, you know the drill. What you want, who you want, pick a number. So torn between general. All right. If you would like a past life check-in, I'm going to have this guy do it because I've already done one for you.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I think at this point, I think we should stick with more the general thing. The past life
that's fine.
Takes a bit long, and since we already are almost 2 hours into this.
Yes.
Especially if we want to get a little time for a couple of our waitlist people.
Yes, that means we'll go a bit over.
Okay, so tarot card 30. Whose deck is up? Is it yours or mine?
I believe it's mine.
It's yours. So.
You're just so good at that.
Okay, number 30. Up. Alrighty. 3 cards. All inverted.
I shall
flip the camera.
Flippity flip flip.
Dip, 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 dip. We have inverted 3 of Wands, inverted 5 of Wands, inverted King of Coins again.
It's very popular this
King
evening.
of Coins has been a popular card tonight. Picture. Picture's 1,000 words. There's the regular version of the 3 of Wands. The three flaming chalices and more fire than that. The flame singeing the dragon's wing. Ow. So a bit more flame than you expected. The emotions, number 3 here, are flaring up. Combining the emotion and the passion, and your heart's ablaze, and there's a lot of angst going on right now. Inverted 5 of Wands. Regular picture there. What I refer to oftentimes as the lessons learned card. As in, you see dragon staring down at the sand because there's a whole bunch of snakes there. In the past, he walked through the sand and was actually looking at just where he was going, not looking down, stepped on a snake. Now he looks down. So he looks to see where the snakes are so he doesn't step on them again. Again, a nice lesson learned. Inverted, though. Your heart is aflame, but the angst is there. You wanted to make a change. 5 is reevaluation, but you don't know where to go. And then the inverted King of Coins. The Capricorn card, by the way. Again. Once again, the picture of the dragon horde at the foot of the tree. And the dragon guarding his horde. You protecting what you have. Your own. We have something else here?
School has decided to have all the kids come back October 13th a bit, or stress about that and safety and health. That could be the emotions wanting to be there for the kids, but worried about safety.
Gee.
Weird.
Funny how you got those cards
odd.
with that particular thing there right now.
Yeah, no, honey, as a teacher, you are in a horrible position right now.
Yeah, it's kind of called lose-lose. Oh my God. I really feel for you
Or
on
more
this
getting
one.
feels about relationship from that, about heart and emotions, not knowing where to go from it.
Well, I know what your desire is because we've talked about this before, Chelsea. I know that ultimately what you want to do is get the hell out of Dodge. But it's just that right now, practically speaking, that's not going to be happening in the immediate future. So unfortunately, you have to deal with the mess that's down there. You know that logically, but emotionally and passionate wise, it's friggin' hurting you. And it's eating you up on the inside. And therefore, you're trying to reevaluate, you're trying to make these changes and make this thing work and learn from the past mistakes and try to have it go as best as you possibly can. But that fire there, that passion, that energy, it's still burning in the wrong direction. And that's what you're feeling. You're feeling heartburn, essentially, like indigestion, and it's like a feeling that just won't go away. It's a metaphor. I mean, you're not really feeling indigestion all the time, but essentially, you're never really calm. There's always some agitation going on because the outside world is not letting you be where you want to be and do what you want to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. You have everything stacked against you right now, and I honestly applaud you for the strength that you're showing. You have this innate ability in you to just never be defeated, and that was something that I noticed about you in college that has definitely stuck around as you've been growing more as a person. I know that you're going to figure out how to do this. And I know that you want to help those kids and that you want to be there for them and that you want to be the best teacher that you possibly can be. But you're right that you also have to realistically think about your own safety. And I really, really wish that we could give you more concrete advice on how to, be properly safe in a school. But unfortunately, you also live in a state that wants to pretend the pandemic literally is not happening. So that really kind of stacks the odds against you there.
Yep. So I'm going to draw one more card here real quick. Nine of coins. Not inverted.
Nope.
I know we've said this to you before, but basically follow your heart as best as you possibly can. Do not let the earth drag you down. I mean, that's really all I can say about that, really.
Yeah. I appreciate that. That's good and succinct, and I like that.
Alrighty. So we're gonna move on.
Yes, if there's anybody in the queue waitlist, there is.
Let's see.
Melanie B. Thomas.
I would say, yeah, if Melanie B. Thomas or Isabel Palomino, if either of you are still out there, we can tackle one of you or either of you.
So here, I'll switch back to our faces.
Yes.
It's more interesting than an empty
So
table.
we'll wait here. Actually, in the meantime, why don't you go ahead and run the commercial one more time while we're waiting for either
I love the commercial.
Isabel or was it Melanie?
Yes, Melanie. And
Melanie or Isabel. Melanie is here. Good. So I'll go ahead and run the commercial, and we will tackle Melanie.
All right. For the final time this evening, I believe. Hello. We are Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers. You can find us at the website that is currently on your screen, www.fafnirandspawn.com. You can also find us at Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers on Facebook. We have a fancy schmancy book now button on that page that lists every single service that we do. There are several that we have not really shown off this evening. We also, among that, offer tarot classes for beginners and psychic consultations for people that are wanting to learn their own craft. You can also find us on YouTube at Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers, where we post all of these live streams so that you can watch them over and over and over and over, because I know that we are just that entertaining. You can also find us on Instagram at Fafnir and Spawn, where we do daily tarot drawings every day. We do one every day. And now on your screen is our PayPal link, paypal.me/Fafnir and Spawn, because we are but poor and starving psychics, and any tips are appreciated. This is a free event. We do some paid events, and you can find us this October at multiple Halloween virtual psychic fairs, which we will be posting more information about on our Facebook page and on our website as the information becomes available. And for anybody that wanted a reading tonight but did not get one because unfortunately there is only just so much time, you can message us through Facebook. You can email us at fafnirandspawn@gmail.com and book readings with us that way. But you can absolutely book a private reading with us anytime if you did not get a reading tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very good. Okay, so Melanie has provided a little bit more. She says, past life or general reading. If general reading, my number is 19.
All
okay.
right.
So honestly, Melanie, I would say because we've already been at this for over 2 hours, and I think both of us are starting to like, our strength is starting to get a little sapped a little bit.
Yeah, we have been going for 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's a lot to do this sort of continuously.
Yes. And so I'll say past life readings. I mean, we both do them, but to do them proper, I think would take a little bit longer. And I would say if you really would like to have a past life reading, I would say either contact one of us directly, and we can actually spend some more time with you that way. So I think we'll do a general reading for you if you don't mind. And even though her number was 19, I'm just getting this really weird feeling we're going to mix decks again for this last reading.
I'm good with that.
I was saying Isabel didn't chime in, so I'm assuming that Isabel has left. So Melanie, you will be.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate.
Melanie, you will be the final reading of the evening. We will cover you off the wait list, and then we will sign off. Okay, so I'm going to do Dragon Tarot, my Dragon Tarot deck this time as the starters, but something tells me
we're gonna pull
from the Dark Shadows deck at least one card. So
okay. We can do that.
18 and number 19. Here we go. Look at that again. This card is following us.
All right.
All right, Melanie, one more quick question. Just another number between 1 and 80. That for the fourth card coming from the Swiss 11J/Dark Shadows deck. And then while you're pondering that, we'll go over these three cards we have from Dragon Tarot. We have King of Coins again. This is like the fourth or fifth time that this card has shown up tonight. We have the 9 of Cups, and then we have the 10 of Coins. So 2 Earth cards and 1 Water card. None of them are inverted. So that actually really, really helps. It gives me kind of a more of a clarifying perspective on this. 29. Okay, do you want to actually let me do that first before I
all right, everybody, watch the Oh, you're not doing it.
What?
I want to watch watch you flip.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because just watch how fast he does it.
Let me start from the beginning again. It's 29, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is card number 29. Ha! Blank. Why don't you talk about the significance of the blank card just for fun before we go any further with this?
All right, yes. So for people that are unaware, the Dark Shadows deck, which is the Swiss 11J deck, actually has 80 cards in it instead of 78. The reason it has 80 cards is that it contains 2 blank cards. The blank cards are actually meant for in case you lose a card, then you can just have that as the replacement. However, when I got the deck, I decided to keep the blank cards in with the rest of the cards because they just seemed really important. And they have actually turned up in several readings now.
Yes.
And they have always had their own meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, let's see what it means tonight.
Okay. So, again, King of Coins, 9 of Cups, 10 of Coins, blank. Door number 4 is blank. Okay, so Capricorn, King of Coins, again. So, again, show you there we go.
There you go.
It's definitely getting late. So, again, the dragon surrounding by the tree, protecting his hoard. at the foot of the tree. The gold, the coins, the jewels, they are all there. And again, like I said, this card doubles also as Capricorn, but something tells me that that completely is just irrelevant for the purposes of this one. 9 of Cups is the second card. The fish out of water. That's the seahorse dragon, basically getting a different perspective out of the water. You see the whale tail is also there at the foot of the card right here. That's the one who was not willing to actually get the different perspective. You, on the other hand, are willing to get that perspective. And then the 10 of Coins. In my opinion, one of the best cards to get in this specific tarot deck, because it shows a very rare balance. You see there the skeletal dragon head is centered between, what do we got here?
She says, my life's
Life is
full of Capricorns.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe so it's not so irrelevant then. The 10 of Coins, the skeletal dragon head between the two trees, the white tree and the black tree, they're the exact same image, except for the fact that they're black. One's black and one's white, and they are reversed. Black tree roots to the ground, white tree roots to the heavens. Metaphors: the black tree for the things earthbound, the things that we have to do, our obligations, our jobs, our salaries, our stuff that we accumulate, versus the white tree roots to the heavens, the metaphor for the things which are more esoteric, the things that we enjoy, our passion, emotional, etc., spiritual, very complex, and yet between the two. Change. Let's take the Capricorn out of this for a second here. The King of Coins, the king of the earth, the king of the money, the king of, acquiring things, the earthbound phase of life. That's what you have known. That's what you're used to, if that makes sense. The idea of essentially, doing things more for the sake of doing things for Earth. That is how you have been. You've made some great accomplishments. You've done some great things. No doubt about that at all. But it's been predominantly for the Earth side, not your spiritual side. So the 9 of Cups is you getting that change of perspective. The fish out of water. Cups is for emotion. It's an emotional need for you to satisfy something that you haven't done before. So now it's getting that different perspective, seeing things that you've never looked at before.
I'm a very spiritual person.
You're a very spiritual person. Have you always been that way, or were you much more of an earthbound person from before? Because the 10 of Coins basically shows that balance between the heavens and the earth, a balance that the King of Coins did not have. That was all earth. Now the balance is shown, and it's a transition. Maybe it's also a transition for you actually taking your spiritual phase to a level which is more intense than what you've been at before. And the clarifying card from the Swiss 1-1J deck, which isn't clarifying at all because it's absolutely blank.
I feel like that is clarifying in its own way.
Actually, it is in its own way too. Because again, it's another one of those absolutely free will. It's like you seem to know which direction you want to head towards.
Both from before. One of your comments from before she's responding to.
Okay. What?
You have hair in your glasses.
Oh, thank you for that. The spiritual blank card is basically saying that you can now take this to a level that you never thought that you could before. The avenue is opened up for you. It's ultimate free will.
It really is. Blankness is everything.
What is it that you would like to accomplish now that you've not been able to before, and not from an earthbound side, because you've acquired enough of earthbound jewels. I mean, you always could acquire more, but that's not really the purpose right now. This is for you to tackle something from a spiritual side that you've never tackled before. What is your desire? What is your dream? What is your goal? Now is the time to actually make it happen. You want to add anything else to that?
I would just caution, because there are people that see things like that and they immediately get overwhelmed with choice because, I used to be one of those people where it was like, what do you mean there's no structure? Panic! But then I realized I could create my own structure. So when I realized that took a lot of, so don't be overwhelmed by the blankness of this card. You use that to your advantage. And if you need to create your own structure for it because you're one of those people that needs some sort of stability that way, then do that. I'm totally one of those people, and it worked for me. So take it in whatever direction, and especially, you're working on becoming a healer. Take that and run with it. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Do you have anything else to add, my lord?
No, actually, I don't. I think so. Unless you have one last thing to say, I think we have approached the end of this particular thing here.
Oh, this is very exciting. And we will be scheduling all of our October events very shortly, because with the psychic events that we will be working. Did you know that October is a really busy month for psychics? I do wonder why.
Gotta love it.
I love the blank cards too. I really feel like they add an extra something that the other cards just can't quite. A message the other cards just can't quite get across.
Indeed.
So I am so very thrilled that you're happy with that. And to anybody who wanted a reading that we did not get to tonight, you can come to our next monthly free reading event. You can come to our paid group live stream. You can book a private reading from any of us at any point in time. You can book with us through any of the psychic fairs that we're doing virtually through October, because hey, it's almost October.
Exactly.
I mean, they can book a reading with me too.
So thank you so much for joining us this month. We will have the events for October up hopefully very soon, so that anybody that wants to book in advance can, because these free events are first come, first serve, but I say in the event that you can message us in advance to book your spot.
Yes, because a couple people did tonight. So,
and yes, a couple people did. So for any of you that really want to be a part of this next month, don't forget that you can always pre-book.
So for those of you who are still watching tonight, thank you for hanging on to the end here. So we really appreciate you guys watching us, because if you guys weren't watching us, we wouldn't be doing these things. So.
Absolutely.
We will bid you a fond farewell and adieu. And we have last minute comment here from someone. Oh.
And Carol, I think as long as Rachel is okay with that, it's fine. But I don't think anybody is going to say no to good energy being sent their way.
No, definitely not.
So, on that note,
merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. We will talk at you later.